Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of the show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here, day number 17 of my 31 favorite rock albums released in December. The album I chose, which is number 15 on the list, is Draw the Line by Aerosmith. Get up close. I always like the artwork on this. It's kind of reminds me a little bit of the goofy artwork on the Who's Who by Numbers. So this album, if I could find my glasses here, which I think they're right here. Oh no, sorry, I took them out. Did I take them out? Nope, that's just a pen. Here they are. So this album was released in 77, so a few years after that particular album, but it's got that same kind of quirky artwork. It was actually the first Aerosmith album I ever owned, I believe. Of course, on the Columbia label. Interesting artwork. Yeah, I can clearly make out who the guys are in the band, even though it's kind of a caricature-like thing. This is a good album. Back in that time period, I liked it a lot. Haven't listened to it much since the 70s. Every once in a while I pick it out. It does have some pretty interesting stuff on here. Nothing really radio dominating on this album. Maybe a little bit of Kings and Queens might be a little bit like that. I like the Milk Cow Blues a little bit too. It's just a rocker album. It's nothing spectacular, but it's a good album. And like I said, I always like the artwork on here quite a bit. So, coming out at that time period, it was an album. I actually owned this album. I think it was cassette originally. I want to say it was cassette because I remember having this album during my Kiss-dominated era. But I don't remember the album itself being me having the vinyl of it. I did have some vinyl albums at that time, but I don't think it was one of them. So I'm thinking it was probably a cassette that I bought at that record store where I got the Kiss album. So the Kiss, at that point in time, I probably had prominently only Kiss albums and the Boston album and maybe a few other albums that I'm not thinking of offhand. But I know I had this at that time period, but I did have some cassettes. Not many, but a few. And I think this was probably one of them. My memory's not so good about that time period. So you're looking at probably right around the time at the beginning of 1977. I don't know if this album came out at that beginning, or maybe I'm just remembering a different album with a similar cover. And that's at least possible because if I look here on my Aerosmith collection, I'm pretty sure there's at least one more album up there that kind of looks a little bit like this one. But I may be mixing the two up, I'm not sure. But this is a solid album. It's not going to win any Aerosmith awards. It's not a top 5 album or anything like that, but it's a good one. And again, the artwork is great. The characters, I always remember it because of this album cover. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of my 31 favorite rock albums that were released in December. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell above my head there. And if you want to comment about this band, the album, or how you see the series going, please don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe. Okay? Take care and have a good one. Goodbye.